All right, go ahead, do your thing, man. Do your thing, bro. We're sponsored by somebody, right? All right, where's the cigar at, man? Is that one mine or his? I'm not taking a stick. He's got to tell me.
Okay, hey, okay, hey. Dr. A.J. Smith and Dr. Chuck present to you the Power Table Podcast, hosted by Dr. A.J. Smith, and he's partnered with Dr. Chuck, broadcasting from Sherry's Executive Lounge. Powerful conversations. The Power Table Podcast is the vibe, y'all. Hey, it's the vibe. It's the vibe. Follow us at Power Table Podcast on all social media platforms. Yeah, hey, let's go. Hey.
What's going on? What's going on? Hey, this is another episode here at the Power Table Podcast. I am so glad to be here once again so we can go ahead and get right into this thing. Me and Dr. Chuck. What's up, man?
Bring it in, man. Long time.
Bringing it in.
Long time, man. Long time, man. Long time.
Hey, guess what, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get right into this thing. We got a outstanding topic.
We do.
I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those
We do.
that you need to sit down
Right.
and listen to, because this is talking about you, your heritage, your family. It's talking about your brothers and sisters, your
finances.
sons and your daughters.
Your
Here it is.
finances, your success,
finances. Oh,
your prosperity, your peace. We're going to try to fit all that in a 1 hour segment.
let's see if we can do
If
it.
that is possible. So let's set the tone. Let's set the tone. We're going to use almost like a metaphorical. Did we say who our sponsor was?
Oh, well, let me go ahead and do that.
Bring that in.
Hey, this
Hold 1 second.
This episode is brought to you by Imami Cigars, where taste is part of sophistication.
Not bad.
I'm gonna let you all know.
Yeah.
I'm smoking one right now.
As
I'm
am I.
smoking a Cyrus. He's got a Cyrus too. Look
Yeah,
at him.
I got a Cyrus
We got
too.
a Cyrus. And guess what? We just want to thank Imami Cigars, for being our sponsor for this
Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
And we're just gonna go ahead and keep it rolling.
Let's go.
Go ahead, man.
So let's use we want our listeners to know, as a backdrop, we're going to use metaphorically the process. It's a biblical story about the children of Israel when they were in bondage in Egypt and they made their way through the wilderness into the promised land. That backdrop is important, specifically because we're going to take a sociological look, an historical look, to analyze the plight of Black America from its transportation across the Atlantic via the transatlantic slave movement into chattel slavery, through Jim Crow, and into a process of freedom. Because here's what we found: everything, and again, we're Bible thumpers, but we're not for the purpose of this power table, because we want you to understand that the principles in the Word of God actually work for you where you're at.
Right.
You don't have to be religious to understand that there's power in understanding and in accurately walking in God's words and principles. So to understand His principle is freedom, it's prosperity, it's heritage. And so many people think, Doctor, that they have to be church goers, Bible thumpers to prosper in this land we call Christianity, or in this idea of faith, when that's not the case at all. You could actually prosper using His principles.
Right.
So there had to have been a reason, and we'll look at this today. There had to have been a reason why While God the Father made a decision to bring a people out of bondage through a wilderness process,
Oh man,
a 40-year wilderness process to change their minds,
you're right.
to change their ideals,
Uh-huh.
to change their habits,
Yes.
all the things that slavery brought to them. God knew if you're going to make it in a land of promise of more than enough, you got to change the way you think.
See, the way the Bible put it, the Bible put it as a purging process.
Oh, I like that word. Purging is a good word.
So
what are we purging ourselves from?
Purging yourself from the former ideas,
Slave
the former,
mentality, yes.
mentalities,
Yes.
the former way of thinking.
Yes.
Think about it. We understand about the children of Israel and how they wanted to go back to lentils.
They did. They wanted to go right back to Egypt. In fact,
Yeah.
every time they found themselves in a place or a condition of being hard pressed, they couldn't see where the food was coming from. They couldn't see where their water was coming from to water themselves or their cattle. They couldn't see where their clothes were going to come from. They always went right back to Moses, their leader, and they'd say, "Why would you bring us out here to a wilderness to die?" When God was trying to show his people that the way you thought about economics when you were enslaved,
Yes.
the way you thought about prosperity and provision when you were enslaved, the way you considered life and success when you're enslaved is not the kind of way of thinking that you can take into a land of promise. And here's my concern. My concern is many of us that consider ourselves to be African American or Black American,
Right.
that can trace our roots back to slavery. We never had a wilderness experience from the time we were brought out of slavery into a place of freedom, which is why we still make some of the same slave mentality mistakes
Yes.
now
Yes.
in understanding our faith, the same slave mentality mistakes now in understanding prosperity and how to make money and how to kind of put yourself out there to prosper, because we're still thinking with the slave mentality.
Check this out, Dr. Chuck. I don't really want you to. You hit something very big. One of the biggest things that I've noticed is you were talking about the slave mentality,
Yeah.
which is rinse and repeat.
Yes.
Rinse and repeat.
Yes.
Let me say it one more time. Somebody didn't catch it.
Rinse and repeat.
But our Heavenly Father,
Yes.
during the Exodus and
Yes.
situation, he added something to it.
Yes.
He added wash, rinse, and repeat.
That's right.
So we never had that wash part put
Correct.
into this, especially here in the Americas.
Correct.
You know, we could go ahead and talk about Reconstruction. Reconstruction all it did was just put a blanket over it.
That's all it did. That's all it did.
It left it alone and put a blanket. Oh, you can't see it. But
Right.
It's still there.
We can give our viewers and listeners a really good example. Just look at something as simple as our diets.
Oh, yes.
What time we eat and what we choose to eat.
Yes.
We still have many African Americans, Black Americans that love them some pig feet
Yep.
and sauce meat sandwiches.
All day.
Now, some of the new generation might not know what sauce meat is.
They don't know what that is. So
And they-
we're dating ourselves right now.
It's okay. We're gonna jump in because pig feet, sauce meat. That sauce meat is nothing more than the pig's head that's grounded up and gelled,
Right.
almost into like a jelly, but hardened. And the slaves would make sandwiches out of it because the only food that they would give slaves was what was left of the pig. They
Right.
ate the ham.
Yes.
They ate the roast.
Yes.
They ate the better ends of the pig.
Yes.
And they gave what was left to the slaves.
Yes.
And we still have that same diet of pig feet. Horrible when it comes to cholesterol. Zero in terms of protein. No nutritional value
None at
whatsoever.
all.
It kills you from the inside out. We think that's a culinary delight
Well, check
because
this
we
out.
haven't changed the way we thought,
Nobody
the way we
ever-
think.
Nobody ever paid attention to how the pig was made up in the first place.
That's true. That's very
You
true.
know, pigs release their toxins. Let me say this one more time. They release the toxins out of their body.
Yeah.
It wasn't from the sweat glands
Right.
because pigs don't have sweat glands.
No, they don't.
It wasn't because they regurgitate, because they don't regurgitate.
That's right.
How did they release the toxins in their body?
Right.
Through their feet.
Yes.
You know, my uncle used to tell me a long time ago, the best way to kill a pig without shooting them is to stick them in mud so their feet can't breathe.
Wow.
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 That's big stuff.
It's huge stuff. And all we're talking about by using that as an example is the slave mentality that we came out of slavery with through Jim Crow. It taught us certain things in regards to survival. It taught us certain things in regards to how our meals, where they came from, our prosperity, where it came from. And it took our attention. Here's a big thing for you viewers. It took our focus off of what God's purpose was, and it put our focus on what the master's purpose was.
Yes.
So we tied everything that we could do, everything that we thought we were good at, we tied it from what the master said we were good at, whether it was entertainment, whether it was athletics. We found a way to take what the master gave us instead of realizing God has blessed us with dominion. God has blessed us with more than enough. But if you don't know, or if you have not prescribed to, or if you have not, here's a better word, applied God's character to who and where you are coming out of slavery and washed, there's that word again, washed out the slave mentality, you'll end up rinsing and repeating in the land of promise what master taught you in slavery.
The crazy
That's
thing is
the danger part.
You know, we used to say yes sir, master. Remember that?
I did.
That term, yes sir, master. That master, everybody used to think, okay, well, they can't say the word master right. Now, black people never had an issue saying
Articulating
the
their
word
words.
master. But yes sir, master. What does master mean? If you take it back to a Hebrew type of thought, or take it back to a Hebrew language.
You're about to educate me now.
Check this out. Massa means oppressor. Wow. I know, that was a bomb drop. Where's the sound effect? Right.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, we look at those things and they understood what was going on and they made a way out of no way. Now, check this out, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and put you on game. Black people in America is responsible for $3 trillion of spending power.
With a T.
With a T. $3 trillion of spending power. What are we spending it on?
We're rinsing and repeating.
Right.
We're not washing it in our own community.
Right.
We're taking that same money, we're rinsing it and repeating it and putting it right back into the main economy.
Right.
I mean, I think it was a good friend of mine, Dr. Jamal Bryant down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He restructured the idea with Target. He realized that Target was doing some things when it came to DEI.
Right.
And trying to leave blacks out of the conversation even further. And he showed Target what the black dollar could do.
He showed it.
And Target changed their mind. In fact, not only did Target change their mind, but they invested billions of dollars back into the black community, all because one group of individuals from New Birth Church in Atlanta made a decision. We're not going to tolerate this. We know the power of black dollars. We know the power of black investment.
Right.
So we need to take a journey, a brief journey with the time that we have, to take a look at some of the slave mindset that our Jewish brothers had coming out of Egypt, and then compare and contrast that to the slave mentality that we carried when we came out of bondage of the South.
Oh, wow.
Are you ready?
Know what? We're about to go ahead and
have to
blow
do it.
somebody's mind right now.
We have
this
to
is
do
going
it.
to go ahead and take somebody to a whole nother mindset. Because you know what? The rinse and repeat cycle is still going on.
We're stopping it.
Oh, we
as
going
of
to.
as of this program.
You know what? In fact, we're going to toast on that one. Yep.
We stopping it. So here's a good. Let's start with this first example. When they came out of bondage.
Yeah.
First of all, God sends Moses to Pharaoh. Says, "Let my people go." For what purpose? That they may serve me.
Right.
Serve them. They had nothing to give. How are you going to serve the Creator when everything you have belongs to the master? God already had a plan for that.
Right.
Let my people go that they may serve me. So when they exited out of Egypt into the wilderness for 40 years, should have been shorter, but for 40 years, the first thing they started asking themselves is, who's going to feed us?
Who's going to feed us?
What are we going to drink?
Right.
Where's our water source?
Right.
Because when we in bondage, Master took care of that.
Right.
Master determined our diet.
Right.
Master determined what we're going to drink.
That's right.
But now that we're in this wilderness, what are we going to eat? We don't see any flesh pots sitting around.
Yes.
And one of the first principles that our Creator wanted to show his children is, man doesn't provide for you, I provide for you.
Your provision is from the Most High.
And I have more than one way to provide for you.
Check this out.
Just because you don't see it
I gotta take
doesn't
my
mean it's
hat
not
off
coming.
because I'm about to go ahead and talk about some Bible. When I talk about book, I gotta take this hat off, y'all. Check this out, y'all. Okay, this is one thing I want everybody to understand. When the children of Israel was in Egypt, they had the same mentality as this popular movie that you've seen years ago called Shawshank Redemption. Okay, you remember when he was released from the prison, he was asking the store clerk,
Yeah.
I need to go to the bathroom. He was asking the store clerk, I need to eat. He was asking the store clerk, do you have something for me to drink?
Because he was so used to the penal system.
Right.
He was so used to the prison system dictating what he was going to do,
Right.
when he was going to do it,
Right.
and how he was going to do it. He was looking for something else that resembled the penal system or a person to show him where his prosperity is going to come from.
Oh.
So what the Father does, what the children of Israel says, is I'm going to bring water from a rock.
Oh, weird.
Wait.
Wait, here it is. I'm going to bring bread from the sky.
You're going to bring water from a rock? You're going to bring bread from the sky?
Right.
You're going to bring quail through the air to land? And what all God was trying to show his people is, man doesn't provide for you, I provide for you. And if there's a man that brings you anything, the provision started with me.
Wow.
They just use what I provided for them for you. But what you got to understand, children of Israel, and going into the promised land of more than enough,
Yes.
is don't get Google-eyed over the more than enough. I am putting in you a power that can duplicate more than enough if you first understand to start by trusting me.
Wow.
When we trust God for those things, I'm not talking about religion. When you get hung up and you can't see how to pay your finances, when you
Right.
get hung up and you can't see where your next meal is going to come from, instead of looking back to Master or someone that resembles Master, maybe it's AT&T. Maybe you work for Amazon.com.
Maybe it's Ford.
Maybe you work, I don't know,
Yeah.
for any company.
Yeah.
Instead of looking to that company, why not get in your closet? Go back to your wilderness and ask your Heavenly Father, how are you going to provide for me? Because this is where I am. He will open up more avenues because he has more than one way to provide quail, water, and bread.
And bread. You know what? It's so crazy that the Most High, he used these analogies and these ways of getting food and provision to us. Let me go ahead and show you how he did it. He did it with air, land, and sea. He brought water from a rock. That's land. He went on and got quails over to you out of the air. That's air. And then, he brought bread from what comes from the sky. You usually see rain, right?
Now,
So-
we got to keep going. We got to keep going. Because if you notice in that illustration of what God did for the children of Israel, he's doing it for you and I right now. We just don't see it because we don't share the right perspective. We don't see it through God's eyes. We always see it through our own. But let me get this out because I'm itching to say this.
Say it, man.
What God did was he used what man had dominion over to provide for them.
Oh.
When God created us in Genesis 1:26 and gave us dominion and told us to subdue, he never gave you dominion over people. He gave you dominion over the land.
Everything in the land.
He gave you dominion over the animals.
Yes.
He gave you dominion over the mountains.
Yes.
And the rocks and the seas and the
Yes.
land. See, we want to try to exercise and manipulate people as if we have dominion over people to get people to do for you what you can do for yourself. So God brought them out of bondage of Egypt to say, listen, I'm going to bring water from a rock, something you have dominion over.
Wow.
I'm going to bring food from quail, something you have dominion over. I'm going to bring bread from the heavens and rain it down into the earth, something that I have dominion over, that by my spirit, I'm giving you dominion over. So now you can stop going to people for stuff I'm trying to talk to the black community.
Boy,
you
this
can
is
stop
big,
going
y'all.
to master for stuff. Just start going back to the spirit that God has given you. Start speaking those things
That be not.
that seem not as though they were.
Man,
understand that you're empowered to do those things.
The crazy thing is this. What the master, or master, if you will, what they did was they tried to provide stuff that was already provided from our Heavenly Father.
Absolutely.
Woo,
and then
wee.
try and convince us that it came from them.
Right.
When in actuality, it came from him, and you already have the same power and authority that they had. You just weren't in position to exercise it because they took you from a land that identified who you were and brought you to a land that identified who you were not.
Yes.
And created this system of slavery to try to convince you that you would always have to be dependent upon them.
So, Dr. Chuck, how do we break the habit?
How
do we do it?
I'm so glad you asked.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even sure if you can see my excitement with that question to come through the cameras.
Yeah.
The only way for us to break that habit is we have to start focusing on the power that is within.
That's right.
We have to start seeing the situation the same way God sees the situation.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a really quick example. There was a woman, and you can find this in the book of Kings, and she had nothing.
Nothing.
So she thought, but she had debt. Her husband had died.
Here comes Elijah.
And her boys, the debtors were coming to get her sons.
Right.
Because as it were in that day and time, if you had a debt, you had to pay it, and they paid it through slavery.
That's
so
right.
They were coming to get that woman's children.
Yes.
Her boys. But her husband was a servant of Elijah, a prophet in the Bible.
Right.
So when Elijah shows up at the woman's house, the woman comes out to Elijah and says, Elijah, you know, my husband was your servant. They're coming to get my boys, and I don't have any way to pay them. I need for you to help me with this bill.
Right.
There's that slave mentality.
Yes.
I see Elijah. Now Elijah has to help me. Elijah is Massa.
Here it is. Help
Elijah's
me.
Massa.
Help me. Help me.
So here's what Elijah says to her. Elijah responds the exact same way. Take your focus off of me and put it on God. Elijah says, what am I to do with you? What do you want me to do about that? And then he asked her the pivotal question, which I'm going to ask you here in a second. He said, woman, what do you have?
Oh, that's a big, big thing.
And
what do you have?
And her response is the typical response that I hear from people that look like me all the time. I don't have anything except a little bit of oil.
Right.
I don't have anything except for $5 left in my account. I don't have anything except for the shoes on my feet.
Yes.
I don't have anything, she said, except for oil. Elijah said, take and go next door to every one of your neighbors. Borrow a bunch of pots. Elijah said, don't borrow a few. Borrow as many pots as you can. Bring those pots to the house. When you bring those borrowed pots back to your house, there's a principle there. Borrow to be blessed.
Right.
I'm gonna finish it.
Ooh-wee.
But it's not borrow for borrow's sake. Bring those borrowed pots into your house and begin to take the oil, she said.
Yes.
And start pouring and filling up all the pots. So the woman goes in. She brings in her boys. She closes the door. She would not allow anyone else in that kitchen. And she started pouring oil. And something amazing happened, Dr. Al. The oil refused to run out. She filled every pot up that she had, and she turned around and asked her son, go bring me another. And her son said, Mom, we have no more pots. So then she went right back out to Elijah. I've got all of this oil. Elijah said, go and take that oil and go and sell it. Pay off your debt and live on the rest.
That's a big
Do you know what that
situation.
means? That means from the oil that she never even recognized having because she said she had nothing except for that oil, she became a millionaire with what she already had in her house. Our viewers need to understand something. You and God is a majority. I didn't say you and religion was a majority. I didn't say you and your church are a majority. I said you and God is a majority, and God will use what you already have. But the slave mentality says, where is master? God says, where am I in your life? Because I can use what you have. If I can bring water from a rock, I can bring oil in the pots.
You know what the crazy thing is, since he's talking about different Bible stories, that Bible story was so powerful, and you got to understand what she said. She said something, I don't have anything. I'm going to go ahead and tell you about another story. I know we ain't got that much time, but I got to tell you about this story. Jesus was meandering, and he went on the side of a pool called Bethesda.
He sure did.
And he seen a man there
Trying to get into the water.
trying to get into the water. You know what? And guess what? He came up with every excuse in the book.
And the excuses he used were based upon someone else helping him.
Right. Someone else helping him. Let me go ahead and let everybody know this is what happened. See, the angel went on and stirred up the water, and somebody got in there before he got in there. He kept using those things as an excuse. And Jesus went on and said, hey, pick up your bed and walk.
Now, before he said that,
Uh-huh.
it's critical to understand,
Yes.
and for you all to receive this. Before he said that, that man kept blaming other people for not helping him into the water.
That's right.
But Jesus re-asked him the question one more time. Do you want to walk?
He asked that question.
I'm not asking you if you have help.
Uh-huh.
I'm asking you, do you want to walk? In other words, I'm not asking you, did your friends help you get the money?
Uh-huh.
I'm not asking you, did your friends stop coming around because you were broke?
Uh-huh.
I'm not asking you if your camera works or doesn't work.
Right.
I'm asking you, do you want to prosper?
Uh-huh.
All it takes is one word from your creator,
And
and he'll take what you already have. And that young man rose up,
walk.
grabbed his bed, and walked.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and declare and decree right now to everybody that's listening.
Yeah.
Your excuse card has now been revoked.
Yes, absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
he brought up something. He brought up something about a wilderness experience.
Has to have it.
Your wilderness experience happens to be the time when you go to your Heavenly Father,
Into your closet.
go into your closet,
And connect.
and you go ahead and you got to go ahead and purge yourself so He can purge you.
Miracles always happen when you're alone one-on-one with the people you love.
Oh, we.
The greatest miracle the world has ever seen, the creation of another life, only
Yes.
happens when two come together
Right.
and close the door.
We gotta do this. Yeah, when two comes together
And the door
close the door.
Now,
I love it.
no. If me and my wife can come together and create 4 lives
Uh-huh.
and a grandson,
Yeah.
can you imagine what me and God can do when we come together and close the door?
Oh my goodness.
There is nothing, and that's why the slave mentality has got to get out of you, because you're so used to what Master says about your situation. You never stop to ask God what He says about your situation.
Yeah.
Because what the world calls a blessing, God calls it a curse. And what the world calls a curse, God calls it a blessing. So when you end up in the I have to say this.
Go ahead.
When you end up in the wilderness, the first thing you're going to notice is there's nothing there except you and God. The world says that's not enough. God says you have everything.
Yes.
But can you be comfortable with that? Can you be comfortable in a space where the world says you're in a place where there's nothing, but God says, no, if I'm there with you, you have everything. Because I can take what you have, not what you're going to get. I can take what you have and bring you enough joy to keep you joyful, or peace that passes all understanding, or prosperity that comes not just to be a blessing for you, but anything and everyone around you.
We're talking about the one that owns cattle on 1,000 hills.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about the one
Yes, sir.
that has so much that He wants to give you. All you have to do is just say, I need to go through this wilderness.
That's why
I need to purge.
Yes, that's why the wilderness experience is so important. Because you got to get into a place where it's just you and God,
Yes.
so God can show you Himself in your life.
That's right.
But you'll never be able to see that surrounded by other people.
Yeah.
As much as I love the fellowship at Sherry's,
Yeah.
and I mean Sherry's, if you haven't been here, you need to come.
Yeah, let me
It's
go
a
ahead.
great spot.
Let me go ahead and do this shout out real fast.
But wait,
I want to
before
shout.
you-
What?
I know. As beautiful as it is being with my brother and being with Jason and being with all of this cast of group, I will never trade it for a long time with God, because
Oh.
I can't get what God has for me in here with all these other people.
I can't
There's
get
too
it.
many competing interests.
I can't
But when
get
I
it.
get along with God, then God can say, no, Charles, the very thing you were going to throw away, I'm using that to bless you.
That's right. So let me get back to my shout
on.
out.
Do your
because
shout
I
out
got to
now.
do it. I got to do it. I want to shout out to Jason Sharp here at at Sherry's Executive Lounge.
You got to
This is
talk
where we
about
at.
Jason a little bit.
Jason.
We need to have him on the program.
We're going to have him on the program. We're gonna
He's
get him
got
in.
a story for you.
He does. We're going to get Jason on the program. But we want to give a shout out to Jason, Sherry's Executive Lounge. Look at this place. It's beautiful
It is.
here.
It's gorgeous.
You know what? If you want to go ahead and come and, let your hair down, have good conversation.
Yes, sir.
Here it is. Have some bourbon.
You know what? You got to do that. You gotta do
Get
what
you
he
a
said.
stick. Come on down here to Sherry's Executive Lounge. I'm telling you, this is a good place to be. Shout out to you, Jason. Go ahead, man.
Man, I'm looking at it. And how much time do we have? Are we good? 30 minutes?
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad he said that.
Yeah.
Here's the next step now. We've looked at the idea of prosperity and what that means.
Yes.
We looked at the idea of receiving from master versus receiving from God and saw what that means.
Yes.
We looked at the fact that it takes a wilderness experience.
Yes.
That you got to come out of the bondage piece to get along with God.
Yes.
Let's define 2025 bondage.
Ooh.
Let's define it.
Let's do it.
Because
right
the
now it's big.
2025 bondage it's bondage that you're in now.
Yes.
It may not look like a person. It may look like a thing.
Yes.
It may look like a circumstance. But I want to do it this way, Al.
I gotta fire my stick up.
Me too. I want to do it this way, Al. I want you to think about in your past to help our listeners. One person or one situation you felt like in life you could not do without. And if you lost it, it would break you.
I can think right now. I already know. I couldn't do this thing. Here it is. And I know this is a lot of people without my children.
Okay. That's a good place to start.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't walk without knowing my children were okay. I couldn't think about providing for them without knowing that they need me.
So here's the challenge. When you put that much hope into a person,
Yes.
what happens when they leave?
Now you get into a situation where you lost and you don't know where to go.
That's right.
You don't have a focus.
That's right.
That's a
right.
big situation.
For Al, it could have been his children. For you, it could be your husband.
Yes.
It could be your wife.
Yes.
It could be that job.
Yes.
God is not calling you to leave your wife. God is calling you into a wilderness experience so he can show you that he can be the joy when she stops.
Right.
He can be the peace when she leaves.
Ooh.
He can be the hope when that job says you're fired.
I got another one, Chuck.
Because when you lock yourself in on something and elevate it above God, that's providing your joy, your hope, your peace, your prosperity. You are inadvertently empowering someone else to determine your prosperous walk. That is 2025 bondage.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that up. Our president that we had, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he had the foresight and the withdrawal to go ahead and develop the Social Security program.
He did.
And that Social Security program is your way of putting some money back so it can come back to you later on in life.
He did.
That opened the door for what the Bible calls plowshares now. The plowshares is what we call warfare.
That's right.
And you have a lot of people right now saying, I cannot live without that check. I cannot live without the provisions. I mean, I grew up with commodities. You had commodities. I had the government cheese, y'all. The big block. Y'all remember the big block of cheese?
I remember.
You remember the peanut butter jar?
I remember.
And you know, when we felt like we could not live without it.
Yes.
We couldn't live without what the government provided for us. And if we didn't have it, we didn't know where we was going to be.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just showed you right here on this podcast in a few minutes that we've been talking that your provisions came through the one who created the cow that created the cheese.
But if you don't have that closet space, if you don't have that wilderness experience, if you can't be brought to a place where there's nothing except you and God, you can't see that he is your everything. Some people like to use, back to your point, money as their bondage. And as soon as they run out of money, as soon as they don't have it, they feel like they have nothing. They want to give up on life. They want to give up on hope. When God clearly showed the children of Israel, they didn't need money. They didn't need, all they needed was him. Even the woman with that almost had her children sold into bondage, she didn't need money. She had everything she needed in her home. So if we can start at least helping our viewers understand what bondage looks like,
Yes.
they can start saying within themselves, I love this man, but I don't need him.
That's right.
I love this woman, but I don't need her. I enjoy this job, but I don't need it. God can open up a door for me and take me to a place where there's nothing and provide me everything because he gave me dominion over the everything that's going to bring me the surplus.
Wow.
Do you remember that example I used about 3 or 4 episodes ago? When I offered my son a jet, his favorite car, and a mansion. On one side, on the left side, I offered him all this land.
Yes.
And he immediately jumped for the jet, the mansion, and the car. To which I said to him, that is a slave mentality.
It is.
Because the jet, the mansion, and the car, it all came from the ground.
the land.
If you understand what you have dominion over, you'll stop trying to control and manipulate people and start controlling and subduing the land that he gave you dominion over, and it will work for you.
Well, Dr.
I had to
Chuck.
show him there's more jets in that land than the one that sits there. But you don't want to put in the work. You don't want your character to change and actually work from the sweat of your brow to put it together. You want to pay for somebody else's sweat, or worse yet, you want to manipulate somebody else from what they put in so you could have it too, and ignore the character and principle traits of your creator.
Dr. Chuck, I got to ask this question.
Come on, man.
When someone feels like they don't have it, it creates a void.
It does.
And that void will lead them to think that they're less than a person.
Absolutely, it does.
How do we deal with that?
We have to change our emotional mindset of where we are in life based upon someone else's expectations or based upon God's expectations. We have this idea that we grow up with that says, by now I should be here. By now I should be making this much. By now I should be married. By now I should have these many things. And we created those from somebody else's vision, from somebody else's life. And we took somebody else's vision and somebody else's life and we tried to make it our own. And here's what's dangerous. We took all of our emotional capacity and surrounded around a vision that wasn't even ours. So now, if I don't have the car by 29, that means I'm nothing. If I'm not married by 30, that means I'm nothing. If I don't have the job by 35, that means I'm nothing. And I feel like Joshua. Who told you you were nothing?
Who told you?
Who told you you didn't have anything? Who told you you were broke? Who told you you were supposed to be at that place by a certain time? And if we were honest with each other, even our viewers, if we were honest with each other, every dream, everything you aspire to be, who told you? Where'd you get it from?
Yes.
Who'd you ask? Because you could be building your house upon sand and not the solid rock foundation of your creator who should have given you the vision in the first place. You could be right on track for what God has you to be. But you're so busy looking at Al.
Will detour.
You're so busy looking at Al and looking at his stick, his Amani cigar, his gold chain, his well-manicured beard. It's like, that's where I should be. When God is like, I never told you to have a beard.
Yes.
When were you ever going to consult with me? I said it this way to a group once, to a group of men. I said, I want you to imagine something. You're married for 10 years. And on one day in July, your wife comes home and she looks at you and says, I want you to take care of me the way Jason takes care of his wife.
Oh.
Why can't you get me the same thing Jason gives his wife?
Right.
Why can't we be in the same place where Jason is? If my wife ever came to me with that, that would be the last conversation we would have within the relationship of our unity.
You know why?
My response to her would be, go get Jason so he can provide for you what you think you want through him. But if you're going to ride with Chuck,
Right.
Oh, come on.
Well, this is
If
what
you're going to ride with Dr. C,
if you're gonna ride with Dr. Chuck,
We
you better
got-
ride with Dr.
we got
Chuck.
to connect with what we are, right? And it's just as bad when we come home to our wives and say, how come you can't do me the way such and such does her husband? We do the same thing. We get locked up. I'm going to say this. We get locked up and lost in pornography and expect the same things we see in pornographic videos to be done at home in our bed with our wives, and then we want to leave our wives because we don't get the same thing we see through pornography. That's why it's demonic. Pornography itself is just a human body, but when you try to take those concepts and apply it to your woman at home, you're off base.
You know what that is?
You missed it.
I'm gonna show you what that is. Hey, you got a void in your life, but you start filling that void up with sand instead of filling that void with concrete.
Yes.
What the sand gonna do? Nothing.
Water rinsing it away. But the solid rock on which we stand,
That's right.
all other ground is sinking sand.
Right.
The Father wants that from you. I'm not talking about religion. Somebody's going to get off this podcast and swear I'm trying to get them to go to church. I'm not trying to get you to go to church. I'm trying to get you to go to God.
That's
There's
right.
a difference. And you can find him in the front seat of your car.
That's right.
You can find him at Sherry's Executive Lounge.
You can find him, here it is, driving down the street.
You can find him while you're sipping on
some bourbon.
Not recommended. All I'm trying to show our viewers as we talk about slave mentality is we have to understand there is a way that seems right to man, but the ends thereof can be destruction and death. There is a way that seems right to somebody else's relationship, but what seems right to your relationship with God? Or do you even know? And so many people, they want to see the church as their closet. The church is not your closet. The church is your wilderness place.
That's right.
Where just you and God exist. So he can begin to pour into you what he made you to be.
That's right.
And the dominion he's given you, so you can understand you don't need the jet and the car. Take the land and God's vision for your life.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go ahead and pay some bills real fast. But we're going to come back and we're going to go ahead and have our special guest.
All right.
Our special guest, his name is Mr. Gerald Mays.
Mays wants some of this?
He wants some of this,
He wants
man.
some of this?
He wants some of this, bro.
Bring him.
All right. We're getting ready to go to a commercial break. And, you know, when we come back, we're coming right back with our very special guest, Brother Gerald Mays.
And Brother Mays, bring your own whiskey. This is ours. Go to the land, find the corn, ferment that rascal.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kyrie, and this is Blunts and Bourbon, the Gentleman's Vibe, where we have fun in our city, reviewing fine cigars and drinking exceptional bourbon. And we share it right here with you. So I'd like for you to hit that subscribe button. I thank you for tuning in. It's time to buckle up and let's enjoy the ride.
We puffin' Cohiba, sippin' on fine bourbon. I don't play for other leader. I'm a grinder, get to working while you moving like a tortoise. I'm more like fast forward. You think it is funny? I get straight to the money while I'm puffin' a Cohiba, sippin' on fine bourbon. Holla at some mamacitas, girl, that outfit fitting perfect, and I got what you deserving. I see it in your eyes. You need some relief, so let's ride. Alright.
Here you go, bro. You ready? You gotta like this joker, man.
All right, hey y'all, we
That's my
back,
man,
we
that's my
back,
man,
we
that's my
back,
man.
and we got we have our
Brother Mays.
very special guest here. We have Brother Gerald Mays, my dear. He's my brother-in-law, and he is actually the founder of this foundation called the Mays Foundation.
Nice.
And the Mays Foundation focuses on our youth.
Wow.
Focusing on our youth. And you know what? They're actually taking our youth out of the slave mentality. I'm going to go ahead and let Gerald go ahead and tell more about it.
I want to hear
man.
this.
Okay, so Mays Foundation. Well, thank you guys for having me. First off, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
brother.
man.
And thank you, Charles. Thank you, sir.
Of course, bro.
So what we do at Mays Foundation is we have an ESTF program: engineering, supply chain, technology, and finance. So what we do in this program is we teach kids engineering. Myself, I'm an engineer, Army. My wife and I.
He's Army, y'all.
Army.
My wife is his beautiful sister. I'm not gonna say nothing, but my brother-in-law, leave it alone.
You know you're in between Navy and Marine Corps.
I'm the best.
You're in between Navy and Marine Corps. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I'm cool with
Yeah,
Marine
power,
Corps.
you
Though.
power,
Oh no, I'm with the Corps. I'm with the Corps. It's these other guys here.
I'm
I don't
the
know how
best.
they count. I don't understand how they count. So man, so my wife and I, we started Mays Foundation years ago, but ESTF we started last summer to show kids what we do. We move big things in our freight company, Mays Freight Solutions. So we do heavy haul, extreme heavy haul, 1,000 pounds plus. 100,000 pounds plus. Jazz going to kill me, but 100K plus. And we just show the kids what all the big gigantic machinery, the factories, all the different products that we move, and some of the clients that we have. So that came into the thing where we just started showing one group of kids. We showed a small group of kids. Hey, again, my own children, of course, and then my nephews, and we started with close relatives, nephews, nieces, and then some other kids, friends of theirs, and we experimented basically last year to kind of see where we can get them thinking on how, just think differently than with a slave mentality.
Absolutely.
I have to ask for something, or I have to look for someone to give something to me.
Yes.
And again, we gave them the same spirit that my wife and I had with Mays Freight when we just jumped out on faith. And we just started our business, and boom, here we are 8 years later, and we're still pushing forward. So we told the kids, gave them that inspirational story. Then also, we teach them about faith, and then we showed them that through God all things are possible. Number one, but also just to add to that, and not but to take away from it, but also to show them supply chain, technology, and finance. So we have a good friend who is an economist for Kansas, Michael Austin. He's a great guy. He does a lot of different, he's an independent consultant.
Yes.
And he helps with different big projects all over our nation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's also with KBRC, the Kansas Black Republican Group. He's one of the guys that are with that group there. And what he does is he comes in and shows the kids finance on how the economy works, how money works.
So
we take away, and he showed them how to pull away from all of the politics of the world and just look at how that money works and how everything works. So we have we give them literature so they can learn about it. We give them everything that we're pouring to them so much, man. Everything needs to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And so that's just pretty much what one part of our program does is that's what that part of Mays Foundation does with our ESTF youth program.
That's beautiful.
So, Gerald, one of the things I really want to go ahead and point out, since we're talking about breaking habits and getting out of the slave mentality, show us and tell us about this summer program that you have for the youth. Is focusing on professional engineers, business owners, the supply chain, tech and finance. Tell us a little bit more about that. How you can go ahead and instill in our youth, in our future, how to go ahead and get out of this whole mindset of I need it from someone else, other than saying, God already put it in my mind to provide.
I love that question.
Okay, well, how can I say? It's a couple of parts to answer, but I guess I can sum it up to what I just try to do what I learned. I'm from Louisiana, from South Louisiana, born and raised, grew up in a little town called Franklin. And I remember seeing like all the city guys always kind of like, on TV or magazines. Well, we had magazines back then. We kind of was going to the, looking on the shelves and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just taking that dream of, hey man, I can own something one day, like these guys are doing. I really didn't see it where I was at growing up.
Yeah.
You seen, well, I can't really say that because I saw the snowball lady. You know, I saw the ice cream man. You see all these people in the fruit man. He's walking around selling apples and oranges, right?
That's right.
So you see those hustlers there. They really don't it really doesn't ding or click in your head until you really take that step and say, hey man, I want to be an entrepreneur, and
Right.
we teach them exactly what it is. What
Right.
does it mean to be an entrepreneur?
Right.
What does it mean to create your own path?
That's right.
So I think that's pretty much what we do at Maze Foundation. We just say, hey kids, we're gonna show you how to do it. I don't want to give it to you because I mean, you know, when my nephews they'll say, Uncle Maze, just drop $1 million on me, man. They'll do something, they'll clown me. Drop $1 million on me.
They
I say,
clowning, right?
I ain't gonna drop $1 million. I'm gonna drop these words on you. I'm gonna give you this information. So that's what I learned from my grandfather and my father. I learned that they say, hey, teach you teach them. You know,
You're right.
I had to learn how to work in the garden. You know, because I worked in the sugarcane field when I was growing up. I remember my dad put me in that sugarcane field to teach me a lesson about hard work with your hands and walking those miles in that sugarcane field and working in them rows and throwing that cane down. Man, I worked one day. I never went back to that. But then I learned that I didn't want to work in the field.
Right.
I mean, for real, my dad taught me just like that. Do you want to work in the field? Okay, because I was trying to drop out of school. I was 16 years old. Man, I can get it, man. You know, I'm smart, Dad. You know,
He
you
said,
do
"I'm
it,
smart."
man. You get like that, bruh. He chopped that tree down real quick.
Yeah.
He called his people on the phone, got me out to the spot called Bayou Sally, Louisiana. It was in that book called 12 Years a Slave, same one. So I went to that same area where my great grandparents were at. And I remember, man, getting in that line, standing in that line with all kinds of people, man. Double arm length and walking that road. Bro, it was long as Kansas City, bro. And I'm telling you, I remember walking that road. Boy, I've been watching the sun go up and I've been watching the sun go down. I said, man, we ain't done yet. Man, we wasn't done yet, bro. And they had a man on the horse and they had a man with the Gatorade thing. So, bro, I learned right then and there, I do not want to work in the field.
What I love about your business, number one, is it's outside the ordinary of what a lot of people that look like me visualize themselves doing
Right.
in terms of prosperity.
Right.
And it's a mentality, unfortunately, that a lot of, I'm glad you're working with our youth, because there's a mentality within our community that thinks opportunities for us are limited.
Right.
It's either with the basketball, a football,
There you go, Dr. Chuck.
a microphone,
That's it.
entertainment, a pole where I can strip and use my body.
Oh, yeah.
We have limited our access to prosperity based upon our own mindset that that's all we have for us.
Right.
And what Brother Mays represents is, are you kidding me? There's 1,000,001 things that you can do when it comes to being an entrepreneur.
Right.
That can bring you success, and that type of education and knowledge is needed specifically in our community because remember the slave mentality. All you can do is grab a hoe, grab a pick, and pick some cotton.
That's what it is.
That's what you were limited to.
And-
And when it came time to eat, you better clean your plate because you never know if you're gonna get another bite to eat anytime soon. But when you process, watch this. When you transition into the promised land of more than enough, if you don't change the way you think,
Right.
you won't realize that the promised land is filled with millions of opportunities for you to create wealth and income. But because you still have that slave mentality, you're still waiting on master to tell you what you can and cannot do. So your brain is limited in terms of what it thinks of what it can and cannot do.
So
Are you with
telling
me?
me, Dr. Chuck, that we put down the hoe, we put down the pick, we put down the bales of hay, and we picked up the ball. We picked up the microphone. We
picked
started
up-
selling pussy. We
I see
started
that
doing
now.
all
We
this
picked
thing.
up the ball.
Yes.
We picked up the football. We picked
That's
up
exactly-
we picked up this idea
That's it, bro.
of if we don't sell the drugs, if we don't sell ourselves, if we don't, the legal option is the only option that master is giving us. How do you think alcohol gets into our communities? How do you think drug gets in our communities? Those things were provided in our communities so that we would take those things and sell them in a self-destructive spirit and convince us that's the only way out. But then along comes Brother Mays.
Right.
So are you kidding me? Here's a business of construction. Here's a business you can use, whether it's architecture, engineer, supply chain. There's so many more things you can do. But if all you have is if all you have is a slave mentality, you won't recognize the abundance that God has given us to think outside the box. The world is open to us. Our counterparts, they had it. when they came to North America
Right.
and stripped the Native Americans
That's
of
right.
all of their land, they knew what was in that land. They knew the prosperity that was there, and they knew the opportunity. But as a slave, all we knew is what was in them fields and how to hoe it, how to pick it, how to process it based upon what Master tells us. He represents a new generation of understanding. You can do all things, help me now, through Christ,
That what?
who gives you strength.
That's right.
And Christ is the Spirit of God that rests in all of us.
Guess what? You know what? The Mainz Foundation, they use hands-on interaction.
Yes.
Love it. Best way to learn.
Hands-on interaction.
Best way to learn.
And they take on-site field trips to instill in our youth, you can do it without throwing the ball.
Yes.
You can do it without dancing and a jig. You
Yes.
can do it, here it is, without selling a drug.
Absolutely.
Get out of that slave mentality.
But at least if you're gonna have it, because I'm not advocating against bouncing a ball. I'm
no.
not advocating against picking up a microphone. But at least understand the power that you have when you put that microphone in your hand to create wealth, and instead of rinsing and repeating,
That's right.
wash that money,
Wash it
invest that money.
in our community.
I'm creating a cultural arts center in Atlanta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta in Douglasville, that's training kids how to take their gift of rap or whatever their artistic gift is, stream it overseas, make your first million, invest it, and live off the rest for the rest of your life. We're trying to create a new generation of millionaires at 18. I'm sorry, not just millionaires, but upper class, upper middle class of 18 and 19-year-olds that simply take one tune. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion took one tune, Body, and they sent Body out. Just Cardi B put one song on that album,
Yes.
just one. Might be not Body. Body's Megan, another one, but she put one song out and made over 3 million on one song.
One record.
Our kids are artistically blessed, and I want them to understand they have a right to be artistically blessed. But don't take it and rinse and repeat. Take it, make that million, invest it, take the interest, limit what you think you should have, and live off the rest.
Dr. Charles, if I may add
Come
something
on, man.
to that. So what we're also showing them too, just exactly what you said, pulling them away from the, not to take away from basketball, like you say, not to take
Right.
away from, but to give
But
them
there's
that
so many
another
other-
option.
Absolutely.
And we show them, we have professionals in AI, so
Yes.
we have the kids learning how to, again, design, program your own artificial intelligence to it where it can do what you want it to do. Not to be afraid of. We're teaching them that you're not going to be afraid of AI.
That's right.
Because they're teaching people to be like, oh, AI is going to take over. No, it's not. Because the experts that we know,
Yes.
no, they're not. What you have to do is know how to use it.
That's right.
When we're teaching the kids how to use it to design your products, design your businesses, to help you with solutions.
Yes.
So we always tell them, find a problem, find a problem, create a solution. That's how you create your business. So
That's
we tell
right.
every kid that. So all of our children in our program.
Wait. Don't,
That's it,
say
man.
it again. Say it again.
Find
a
a
what?
problem
and do
and
what?
you create a solution.
Say it again. Find what?
Find a problem.
And do what?
Create a
create
solution.
Are there
solution.
a limited amount of problems?
Oh my goodness, man! So
Are
many
there a
problems.
limited amount of problems? No, there
Man.
isn't. Then there's an unlimited amount of solutions.
It's always
That's
a problem,
right.
man. And you can find something. We all teach the kids this also. We teach them if there's, think of the product, your favorite product, anything you like. Is there anything you can improve on that?
Yes.
Because if you can improve it and make it better, you have an idea like, man, if they do this, this can make this shoe better. It
That's
can
right.
make this car better.
That's
It
right.
can make this train better.
That's
It
right.
can make this airplane better.
That's right.
I mean, all of these different things, this drone better, all these different things that we teach them, like, because we brought them to drone companies, good friends of ours that work in private sector and such. We get a chance to show the kids private tours on
Outstanding.
things that they've never seen before. Also, I'm trying to think of just something just unique, man. Just unique things that we don't see every day,
Right.
And again, the minds are these kids are so broad-minded, man. They're ready for it, man. And they just have to have that. I'm asking everybody out there, man, just do the same thing. Teach your kids, find a problem, create a solution.
Find a problem.
You have to feed
Create
them,
a
man. We have to
solution.
continually feed their minds. If you don't feed their minds,
Right.
they're gonna fail.
And
gonna fail.
our kids have to understand this, Dr. Al. They are empowered to
Yeah.
find the solution.
They are.
They have dominion to find the solution.
That's right.
That's it,
People,
brother.
and the problem is, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if he thinks all he can do is bounce a basketball, then he'll practice bouncing that basketball till the cows come home. He'll shoot outside, even when it's dark, trying to find the goal, and he'll put all that effort into being a great basketball player. He didn't know how to play that well from the beginning, but because in his mind he thought he could do it, he put his energy toward it. If you think you can be an engineer,
Yes, right.
if you think, come on, somebody, if you think you can be a strong construction, not just worker, but owner of your own business. If you start thinking you can be great in AI, you'll spend hours learning about AI, and after 5 to 7 years, you'll become a master of AI because you thought you could do it. Our kids need to understand, you can do anything you think. Find a problem, you are empowered and have dominion to bring the solution.
That's right. And Dr. Chuck and also my brother, Brother Mays, I really am so happy and elated that we have an outlet for our youth as the Mays Foundation to go ahead and bring up different ideas and different ways for somebody to go ahead and get out of the slavery mindset and walk into freedom. I got a toast on that.
Come on, man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
I got a toast on that.
Have to.
Yeah.
Give me that again.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're getting ready to get out of here. But this particular
We're just getting
podcast,
started, man.
We just got started. I know.
Come back for part 2.
Part 2.
Because we haven't even entered the promised land yet.
We have. Oh man, we're gonna do part 2.
We got to enter the promise. So that people that understand, that came from that place of thinking that they don't have more than enough, how to act when they get there.
That's right.
And it stems on that: find the problem, create a solution, so you understand that we're empowered to do so. So this is not over. This is not over.
I can tell you one thing, like on the business model, how my wife and I structured it. This is how we like I said, let me just show you about the money side of it. We tell the kids, find a problem, create a solution, and make the money.
Yes.
Because that way, that's exactly how it's set up, and you can do it just like that. But again, you put God first. You got to put God first. And that's the only way it works.
And when you make the money,
you can't be filthy.
Wash it.
Then
it.
Rinse it.
Then repeat. Wash.
That is,
rinse. Repeat.
That's it, bro.
Hey, this podcast was brought to us by Imani Cigars, the taste of sophistication.
We're not done.
We are the Powercast.
You better come back.
The Power Table Podcast. And you know what? Hey, this is Dr. Chuck. I'm Dr. Al.
Come on, man.
We got our very special guest, Brother Gerald Mays. Hey, we're gonna come to you next
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. We in for what is it? Part 2?
Part 2.
I can't wait for it.
We're going into the promised land.
Hey,
we're changing a community.
Welcome to the Power Table.